pinky out. Pinky.
Is this how you're supposed to
Wait,
drink?
what does that say? Let me see it. Let me see the mug. It says, of course.
Of course, I talk to myself. Sometimes I need expert advice. Woo!
There may not be a more appropriate mug
Yes.
in the world for
I
you.
talk to myself quite often. Like full-blown
I need
conversation with
expert
myself.
advice.
The challenge is I have it out loud. Everybody talks to themselves. They usually just keep it in their head. Not me. I walk down the street having a full-blown conversation with myself.
Listen, I've seen you have conversations with yourself.
Like, am I needed here?
How are you? It's another beautiful Friday here in the lovely state of Maryland.
That was a crappy. How was a Friday? That was like a.
All right, well,
Let's
how
go.
about you start the entry?
All right. Happy Friday! Woo! Woo! It's Friday! They need that kind of energy.
Let's talk about it because last week, let's just get into it. Last
week.
Last week.
Last Friday. Last Friday. We got a lot of videos. We got a lot of videos for the meet and greet.
Listen,
it's good.
if you didn't get it in, too late. Sorry, because they were due Tuesday, the 4th.
There's a lot of really good ones. We're giving away some money. It's going to be tough.
Last week, you finished the video by saying, if you want to know how to get the financials. Ta-ta.
It's right question, right buyer, right time. I'm going to add one to it. Right question, right buyer, right time, right place. Ooh, nobody thinks about this. So here's the thing. Think about you go buy a car. Okay? You're on the car lot. You're looking around at the cars. You're walking around. You're checking them out. Sales professional comes out. You're like, ooh, sales professional coming on, right? So if you're like me and you embrace salespeople, you're like, woo, salesperson. But if you're like most people, you're like, oh my God, here comes the sales guy. Oh God,
Run away.
It's coming. Just
Run.
act like
The
you
other
don't
way.
see him, right? Okay. That's not me.
I'm
I
just
embrace
looking.
him. Okay. But the sales professional comes over. He or she is courteous. He or she is friendly. Everything's great, right? You feel a certain level of anxiety. Question for you. Does the anxiety raise or lower when he says, let's go inside and have a seat?
Raise 100%.
Woo, it raises 100%. And if you're watching this video, you know it raises 100%. Why? Why does it raise?
Because the commitment is coming. That question is the question of being asked is
You
coming.
know you're going inside. It's about ready to get real. And you know when you get inside, it gets very confined. You're now trapped inside. You're geographically outside. You have escape routes. Remember, we have one brain that's designed for one reason, to keep us alive. Your brain is always searching for survival. It's always searching for like ways to get out. And when you're outside, your brain is comfortable because there's a million escape routes. When you're inside, now you're trapped. Well, this is how our buyers feel if they're inside of our model homes. Now, again, not everybody has a model home, but think about your buyer. When they're inside, they're confined. And so the questions that you ask, the whole thing when you're with them is to try to get them to disarm. That's why you want to get full. But if I'm inside the sales center and I hit them with a finance question, man, like that could derail real quick right up front because now they get really tense and like worried if you ask that question too soon, too quick, and if you ask it inside. The first finance, where I'm going to pierce the armor of the logical, finance being logical, portion of the buying process, financing is logical, is I'm going to use it geographically to help me. And I'm going to get a lot of information from one question, and I'm going to show you how, okay? So when we watch shops, here's what we see. If you're in a model home, again, if you're in a model home, I'll give you a way out if you're doing it over the phone. But if you're in a model home, people come to the sales centers. Most sales centers are in the garage, not all of them, but most sales centers are in the garage. What we're supposed to do is when we start the model home tour, when done the meet and greet, done the whole first 3 to 5 minutes, we take them out front of the sales center door, around, and walk them into the front door. That's what we should be doing. That's not what most people do. Most people do one or two things. Either one, they walk through the cut-through door in the sales center that goes into the kitchen or into the mudroom, whatever it is, right? Or they send the buyer out and the buyer comes in by themselves. There's a lot of real estate in between the sales center door and the model door. Let me explain to you, okay? Sales center door and model door. So when you walk out of the sales center door, you're with the buyer. You're going to walk around to the model home. door. You with me? You follow me so far? You're on the
I'm
path. You follow me? You tracking? Okay. Now, first, make sure your model home door is unlocked, because the last thing you want to do is walk around to the model home door with the buyer, the door be locked, then you have to walk all the way back. Make sure your model home door is unlocked. That should go without saying, but I said it anyway. Okay. When you get outside, before you walk into the model home, stop with the buyer, turn and look and say, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, before we get started on our tour, I want to show you something. I want you to take a look out over the community that you're thinking about moving in, over whatever the name is. And I want you to look at all these rooftops. I've sold every single home in here. And I can tell you that in this, what you see, the rooftops you see, they can range in investment amount from $400,000 to $600,000. Would you say your investment amount is within this range? Now, we find out right then and there. Well, yes, it is. Okay, perfect. So if they say, well, yes, yeah, my budget in somewhere in between the $400,000 and $600,000 range. When you make a decision on the builder you choose, will that decision be based on price or value? Now, everybody's going to say value, and then they're going to caveat it with price, but price is important. Say, perfect. So because of the fact you said that your price range is in between $400,000 and $600,000 and your decision process can be based on value, it seems to me that what we're looking for today is a match between what you find valuable and that is in that investment amount between $400,000 and $600,000. Would that be correct? They say yes. End of story. They say yes. End of story. They say no, then we're going to go in objections. But yes. Now what did I learn? I haven't even walked in the house yet. I have a buyer who is in the right investment range for what we offer, and their decision will be based on value, not on price. I'm not having a long dissertation outside. I'm not doing that. I'm asking those questions. I'm saying, great. I'm telling them, because of the fact you said this, we're searching for this. Did I hear you correctly? Yes, great. Now I start the model home tour. I'm going right back into emotion. If you make it too logical in the beginning, you could scare your buyer off. And just because they don't say, I'm out, doesn't mean they haven't checked out emotionally because you scared them by going logical. Do logical first, the first pierce in the armor, logically outside the model home. Now, if you are on in the sales center, I got to pitch this here. All right, speaking of different locations, I was late for a flight, so now I'm in Nashville. I started in Baltimore. Now I'm in Nashville. Listen, this whole lesson is about understanding that it's the right question with the right buyer at the right time, but also the right location. Everything we do is to try to influence the buyer into making the decision that's best for them and their family. Obviously, we try to influence them in that decision being a yes, but if you can match these things up and find the right location with the right question, with the right buyer at the right time, you increase your probabilities of getting the decision and the outcome you want. This week, start to think about where you are geographically when you start that meet and greet, and when you ask logic-based questions and when you ask emotion-based questions. Do this and watch how you'll get more information, you'll get better information, thus increasing your probabilities of getting the sale. All right, saying goodbye from Nashville. Who knows where you'll see me next week? I might be in Maryland, I might be in Nashville, I might be in Tuscaloosa, heck, I might be in Denver. Who knows? Find out next week.